I did it. No.
Stop yawning.
You started it. No, I'm pretty sure it was me, but you started it.
We'll try and go this whole podcast without yawning. Hey, Cinema Peeps.
What a challenge. I think I've yawned a majority of them. We just sometimes just cut it out, so we'll see how that goes.
Yep, it's true. Very true.
It's a sleepy evening for us people.
Yes, it's been a wild weekend. Well, not wild. Well, yeah, kind of wild. If you count the fact that I was hiking out in nature this weekend. So yes, it was very wild.
She was. Tell us all about it.
It was lots of fun. You know, it was nice to get away for the weekend and kind of, you know, get a change of scenery. We went to Canmore and we went hiking our first day. My sister had this trail that she and her boyfriend had gone on the year before, so she wanted to take us on it again because there was this cool old like war bunker that was like in this like cavern of the mountain, which was pretty cool. So
okay,
yeah, so we went hiking up there and we got to see that, and it was really neat because you go in and it's like instantly cold in there, obviously because it's a cave. But it was nice because it was like super hot outside, so we got to like just kind of chill in the cave, literally. And
nice.
So yeah, it was cool exploring that. And then on the way down, going back to the vehicle, we kind of like took a different route to get back to our car. And okay, so first of all, on the way up, we heard some like rustling in the bushes. So we were like, oh, what's that? And so we didn't think anything of it. We couldn't hear it. We couldn't see anything. So we carried on. And then on the way back, we kind of, like I said, we were taking a different route. And we were kind of walking along. And I looked to my right and had to do like a double take because I just saw this black bear kind of like standing there staring at me. And I didn't know what to do at first, so I was just like, oh! I look at my family and I'm like, there's a black bear! There's a black bear! What do I do? I was like, do I take a picture? Do I run? What do I do? And then so I tried to like show them where it was, and you could just kind of see like a little bit of it rustling around in the bushes. I guess there was like a mama bear and two cubs. But yeah, I definitely saw one of them poke their head out, and I could just see its face and its ears staring at me, and we locked eyes for a second, and I was like, oh! So that was cool.
What an adventure.
Yeah.
Did you get some fudge?
No, I did not. I was tempted to get a beaver tail, though, because I've never actually had a beaver tail.
Ah, same here.
Right? So I was going to do that, but the lines were too long, so we opted for the candy store instead.
Oh, classic. Good choice.
Because that's always a classic. Always a tradition to go there. Mm-hmm. Now we have enough candy to fill our tummies for a month. Or at least until Halloween.
And then you can get more candy. Yeah, there was a food truck parked near my work for a while. It must have been for the summer or something, and it was for beaver tails. And I was like, you know, one day I'm going to come early, or maybe when I finally get a morning shift, I'll go and buy one. And then the day I was ready, they had packed up shop and left.
No!
It was very depressing.
Aww.
Was so close and yet so far.
Well, I've heard they're like pretty similar to elephant ears, and I love elephant ears. So I guess I kind of then technically have already had one, but I haven't really had like the official beaver tail. So
yeah, I've had 0. So
you've never had an elephant ear?
No, but really, it's a deep fried like pastry with shit on it.
Well, not shit, but you know.
Not shit, but you know, the good stuff.
Icing sugar or chocolate and yummy toppings.
Yeah. You know, so I can't imagine I'd be like, oh, wow, that's a little gross. You know, like I'm sure it's delicious.
Yeah. Well, I guess you had also a bit of a wild weekend as well.
Well, we just did a little day trip. So on the Friday, we took the car and we drove out to Colesdale. And we went to the Alberta's Birds of Prey Sanctuary, I think is the full title. And basically they rescue endangered predator birds. And the idea behind it is that they obviously try to rehabilitate these animals and try to get them back into nature. Mm-hmm. However, there are some instances where that's just not possible. Either some kind of birth defect or we saw there was a couple of them that didn't have like, they only had like one wing. Aww. Or like one good wing. So unfortunately they obviously can't I mean, they could release them back, but I can't imagine their quality of life would be that fantastic.
Yeah.
So then they get to kind of live at the sanctuary. And then it's only open, I guess, usually in the summers from May to September. And then it's just kind of used as and they, have these little teaching demonstrations so you can learn more about the birdies.
Cool.
They had some hawks, some owls, which we actually got to hold on our arms, which was dope.
That's awesome.
But unfortunately, because of COVID, we did not get to pet them. Aww. Supposedly you can, so we will definitely be going back because I'm going to pet an owl. But we got to hold a little burrowing owl. His name was Mario.
Aw.
And then there was a bigger owl. His name was Blathers. And so I was like, haha, Animal Crossing. And the lady was like, you're the first one to get that. I was like, yeah, I am.
Nice.
Nerds forever. But they were such handsome boys. They were so handsome.
Aw.
And then we saw some big ass bald eagle and what were they? Not hawks, but almost like the size of fucking vultures. They're fucking huge ass birds. And then we witnessed a bird demonstration where they had one of the hawks fly from one post to another.
Cool.
As they gave information. Apparently, because then when you watch them fly, they actually fly really low to the ground. Mm-hmm. And supposedly it's because they're very lazy. So they try to take the most efficient way to get to point A to point B. And the lady said sometimes they'll even run because they're it really doesn't matter to them. They just want it to be the most efficient way possible because they're very lazy.
That's neat.
Right? I'm trying to remember. They had a little hedwig. They had a little snow owl.
Aw.
They had vultures. They had all kinds of owls. There was this little owl called not 100% sure on the name. I think it's a sea-wheat owl, a saw-wheat owl. At least that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay.
SAW space WHET, I believe. And apparently, even though he didn't do it for us, his mating call sounds like a bus backing up.
Really?
Yeah. But he was so cute. He was so small. He was so adorable. Yar. So we did that for a couple hours. And then my mom was like, let's just check out this Japanese garden in Lethbridge. Because we're relatively close there. We're like, yeah, sure. Went there. It was a very nice, tranquil place. Although there was a bitchin' water park next to it. I was like,
oh, yeah?
I was like, I want to go to there. But none of us had our swimsuits.
Aw.
It was outdoor. They had some big slides.
That's awesome.
Like I said, it was nice to get out. Even though it was just for a day, just to do a couple activities.
Yeah.
Considering, we've all been trapped in our own little cages.
No, yeah, it was good to get out, and it was nice to see everybody, for the most part, was pretty courteous and pretty respectful of each other's, distancing and stuff like that, so that was nice.
Yeah, for the most part, I don't remember anybody being like, no, not today.
Yeah, I think the worst thing, and this isn't even that bad, but the worst thing was, my sister and I went into one of the clothing stores in Banff, and obviously they're a unisex brand. So because it's all outdoorsy type clothing and stuff like that. So they had all the type of clothing there was just if you could wear it, guy or girl, doesn't matter, right? So this lady, she's asking the associate about socks, and she's like, do you have any women's socks? And there was this whole thing they were going back and forth, and he was basically trying so hard to explain to her that there's no such thing as men or women's in this store. It's all unisex. It's all one thing. She's like, yeah, but usually they have there's a men's side for socks, and then there's a women's side for socks. And this guy just was just really, really trying so hard to explain to her, no, this is a unisex store. What about these socks makes them women's or men's? None. It's just a pattern. It doesn't make it one or the other. And I was like, good luck, buddy. You're going to be here a while.
I was and I feel I don't know, just the way they're describing, I feel the lady probably didn't mean to, be that difficult.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're just it's just not normal, there's the men's socks and then there are women's socks. And I'm looking for the women's socks. And the employee being I swear to God, they're all the same.
Right?
Honestly, if I was in his shoes, I'd be like, yeah, here are the women's socks and just pass a repair. Just like, just a line. Here you go.
Right? Honestly, I think the reason she brought it up was more so just for, like, the size. Because you know how, like, women's, like, size feet is supposed to be, like, 2 times smaller than, like, a men's, like, shoe size or whatever. So I think that's why she brought it up initially.
Okay.
But he was just saying that, like, you know, the socks are all the same no matter what. They stretch and they have elastic. So whatever size you get, for the most part, it should fit you.
Yeah.
Like, there's no difference between the sizes kind of thing. I gotta give him props, though. He stuck to his guns. He was bound and determined to be like, nope.
Wow.
This is how it is.
Good for him. Like I said, I would have caved early and just been like, yeah, here you go, and then run away. Or be like, let me check the back, and then never return. Clock out.
I've done that before.
Go home. Yeah, let me just check the back. Yeah, I'm never coming back. Goodbye.
Yep.
Not today, suckers. Not today. I think I kind of did that once because this man was very much annoying me because he couldn't pick his seat in the theater. And I was like, man, just pick a seat. It's all good. But we have a weird rule where, like, you're not supposed to leave, like, a gap. Like, everybody's supposed to... Again, this is pre-corona times, people. But we used to try to... Obviously, we want to squeeze as many people in a theater as you can, so you don't want to leave single-space gaps.
Yeah.
You know? And this guy, and I was just like, oh, here, I'll just move you this way. Or at least move him, like, 2 over, so at least... Because I feel like it's very common for 2 people to go together. Mm-hmm. And so this guy was just like, no, I don't want that. And I was like, listen, sir, like, it's for spacing and all that. And he's like, are you saying somebody's gonna buy those seats next to us? And I was like, yeah, someone's going to. And he's like, oh, you bet? I was like, yeah, I bet. He's like, well, I'm gonna come back. I was like, you do that. And then he left, and I was like, oh my god, I need to leave now. Luckily, I got sent home early, so I was like, whoa! So I ran away. I was like, oh,
dodge that bullet.
I'm like, not dealing with that. I also just have a hard time understanding why do you have to fight with the employees?
Right.
You know? Don't get me wrong, though. If the employee starts it and they're being rude, then sure.
Yes.
But, like, in my experience, I don't think I've ever had, like, a mean customer service or employee be rude to me. I've had some who are, like, not engaged, and I'm like, whatever, here's my order, can you just make it? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, cool, that's all I need, man. And I'm just like, what? Why?
Yeah. I say whoever invented the phrase, the customer's always right, needs a good talking to.
Yeah, it's probably a fucking customer. Let's be real here.
Yeah, it's true.
Because they're never right. What are you talking about? I remember... I don't know. Maybe this is a different mentality. Maybe if you work a part-time job, obviously, let us know. I'd actually be curious. Because I found that I've worked part-time work. I try to be very courteous when I am, at other places, If I'm ordering food or, like, shopping, I try to do, like, I just try to be courteous and kind and not, like, a crazy person. Mm-hmm. But I had one friend who was like, you know what? People are mean to me at my job, so I'm just going to be demanding at other places. And I'm like, what does that solve exactly?
Yeah.
You're continuing the cycle of, like, man, I hate my job. I hate people. It's like, why? I don't... Because it was, like, honestly, like, kind of embarrassing to order. Like, if I was with them, it was, like, really embarrassing because they just had to make this big deal of everything. And I was like, I don't want to be around you if you're gonna be like this, because I'm like super uncomfortable.
Yep.
Like, that's not fair to the employee under any circumstances.
And that's why working retail sucks.
It sure does.
I feel for anybody who has to work in retail.
Right?
Man. Oh, you know what popped up on my Facebook memories today?
Oh?
Was the picture of you and I from the Into the Endless shoot.
Yep. I saw that too. I was like, what a couple crazy kids.
Right? I'm like, oh, classic photo.
I can't... Was that the... No, that was a... I was trying to think, because the picture is like a clip from, like, a behind the scenes, I think, where it was like, we need a little more bush in the shot, a little more bush. And then the camera just starts spinning. I think one of our friends was on the Steadicam, so they got everybody. Yeah, and I think I was just sitting there just being like, duh, and then you just, like, crept in. Yeah. You're like, what's up?
Yeah, that's right.
Snap, forever photo. Good times.
Good times indeed. My favorite is still just, like, when that short film got screened in class. It's just a shot of the guy looking over the cliff, and you're like, and there she is. She's an angel. And we all laughed so hard. It was so funny.
I was really sleep deprived, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was like so tired. Was my thought. I don't think they appreciated it, but it was funny.
It was very funny. In retrospect, when you look at it, it's like at that point you just kind of have to laugh it off, because in the end everybody was tired. We were all trying to do our best. We were all floating in like minus 30-degree water.
Heck yeah.
You know, so it's like, oh, if you can't laugh, what was it that Keely always used to say? If you can't laugh, you'll cry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, because I was like super excited because when they're like, oh yeah, we want to shoot stuff underwater, I was like, oh hell yeah, me love water. So like, I think I tried everything in my power because it was you and Heather doing camera, and I was like, I'll do blood.
Yeah.
Let me do something. I want to be in the water.
Yeah.
Let me be in the water. I just wanted to be so badly. But then I had to run back to do auditions for my short film.
Yeah.
And then Heather's friend, yeah, because we had her friend's car, it like broke down on like the highway from White Cliff. And then I think we ended up getting a taxi. I took the taxi back. I think I texted or called someone. I was like, hey, can you please meet these people here? And I show up sopping wet, exhausted. I actually almost passed out on the beach when I like came up out of the water.
Oh my god.
Almost like head first just fell. And of course it's not really sand, it's all fucking rocks.
Yeah, it's all rocks.
So I would have just like fucked up my face.
Man.
Bad.
Yeah. And I sliced up my feet and my knees real bad.
Oh, yeah.
Almost got stung by a jellyfish. That was a memorable shoot.
Right? I think maybe that's why I went the other way, because you were like, ah! And I was like, oh, hell no. So I just swam back. I was like, I'll just swim to shore. I won't climb on no rocks. I'm getting no barnacles on me.
Right?
No thanks.
Because it wasn't until I actually ended up going underwater that I saw, like, that whole shelf of rock that I was standing on was literally, like, mussels. Like, it was those clams. Mm-hmm. So they were just slicing the bottom of my feet.
Ew.
And I just looked afterwards, and my feet were all sliced up. And then when, like, that one wave came and, like, it knocked me off balance, I like skinned my knees on it and everything, and I just come up out of the water, and I can't remember who pointed it out, but somebody was like, oh my god, Kendra, there's like blood all over your legs, and I'm like, what happened?
What happened?
Because yeah, they were pulling me out of the water because of the jellyfish.
Right. And our wonderful actor said, don't worry, I'd pee on you. And you're like, oh gee, thanks.
And then it got real weird.
And you're like, oh, thanks.
Yeah. But then, hey, we found out after the fact that we filmed at the same place that Arrow did, so that was pretty cool.
I think I remember watching, like, the first episode, I was like, oh my god, I was there!
I remember when we, like, got the studio tour of, like, the production offices and stuff, and they showed, like, the location scouting, like, sheets, and that was the island there. We were like, hey, we know that place.
I think I was distracted because I saw a picture of Deadshot, and then I finally made the connection. I was like, oh my god. Yeah. Because I think at that point they still weren't calling him the Green Arrow, right? Because he was just the Hood.
Yeah, because they were just on season 2.
I think so, yeah.
When we were, because yeah, and then we
No,
got to...
I think they were actually still doing season 1.
Were they?
Yes, because I remember, because when we finished school in March, I was binging season 1 online, but then I got up to the point where it was still airing on TV.
Oh, okay.
So it was definitely still only season 1.
Interesting. Because we got to see, like, the club, like, the new version of the club that he made. And I remember them saying that, like, yeah, Steve Aoki was here, and we were all like, whoa, and we got to go to where they had, like, the Big Belly Burger restaurant. We got to meet his stunt double and hold the stunt bow. Mm-hmm. And then, what was that other? Oh, yeah, we saw, what's his face? John Barrowman. He came out and said hi to everybody.
I think we also saw, because we saw the club, and then we saw the kind of the first version of the lair. I just felt really bad because the guy was like trying his best. He's like, this iconic scene where he does the salmon ladder, and all of us have like no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, and then now all of a sudden we're like, wow.
Right? And to be fair, like, we were like finishing up, like, we were almost done school, like, we were just doing like our last trek. We were tired because, I mean, the guy was like trying to get us, and I think also at the time we all really wanted to go on the Supernatural set. Yeah. So our teacher's like, oh, maybe, but I was still happy that he got us on a set. Like, it was still very cool. But then, after them watching the show, being like,
yeah, I think it definitely made me appreciate it more. And it was cool going to, like, the prop building, too. And, like, it's cool that he, like, showed us all of the prop, like, weapons and stuff like that and how realistic looking they were. And, like, all of the, like, bottles of booze that they had for, like, the club scene and stuff like that. And how they had to, like, print their own labels and everything. And it's, like, just amazing all the little details that nobody realizes that they have to do.
Oh, yeah. I think there's a behind the scenes for Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was that one. But yeah, they were showing, like, how they have to print and design, like, every label for every can. I think, yeah, because I think it was, or maybe it was for the third movie for Prisoner of Azkaban, because they were talking about how they went to Honeydukes and stuff like that, and how, like, yeah, they have to basically recreate a lot of that stuff from scratch.
Yeah.
And to think, like, wow, they put in someone put in so much work to maybe get it seen.
Yeah, right?
You know, like, there could be a chance it just isn't gets seen at all.
Yep.
You know, it's just this thing lost in the background, but of course it helps tie everything together. You know, every
it
little
helps
thing.
create the world.
Mm-hmm. But I think someone put so much work into that, and then it's like, nope, you don't get to see it.
Yep.
I appreciate all those people, and I think you do amazing shit, because I could not do that.
Heck yeah.
I actually still have a couple of our posters up somewhere.
Yeah, I definitely still have the technology flower thing that we made for my music video. I have that somewhere, and
that turned out good.
That was awesome. I feel like I have a few different props still, like, here and there stored, just to commemorate our time in film school.
Right. I have a prop box that I have all our stuff, or at least all the stuff we used in film school in. And then I think in my closet I still have the t-shirts we made for my short film.
Yeah,
Maggie.
I still have the t-shirt and the pin. Yeah, I still have that. I had the pin on my camera bag for the longest time, and then I took it off just because I didn't want to lose it. But people always complimented me on it. They were like, "What does this mean?" And I'm like, "Oh,
really?
This is actually a short film that my friend made." Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh man, I just really want to make a project again.
Heck yeah, we gotta.
Right? I want to see people. I want to work on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. No! I didn't do it.
You almost did.
I didn't do it.
She's holding it in.
All right, we're going to end our podcast right now because I don't want to yawn. I'm not going to win. I'm not going to lose. But yes, thank you all for listening. Hope you have a great, happy Tuesday. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know about any cool, fun adventures you've been doing lately. Leave it in the comments below. Goodbye!
Goodbye, Cinema Peeps.
Monkey, monkey.
Monkey, monkey. And slap.